Hi everyone, and welcome to this new speed build in The Sims 4. Today I'm renovating the Maritime Manor, or at least I think that's how you pronounce this name, in the Foxbury Institute. And it's been a while since I wanted to renovate this build, although I'm saying renovating when I'm actually kind of rebuilding it from scratch. And I basically tried to copy the houses that you can see nearby in the neighborhood so that this build could blend in really well, and I think I did a pretty good job. I also went into the debug menu to use the wood fence that you can see also in those other builds to, as I said, make this build blend in as much as possible. And in this build you actually have 4 bedrooms and you have 6 different beds, so you can actually have up to 6 Sims living in this house. Although you have only 4 single beds and you also have 2 double beds, because I was thinking that maybe if you guys wanted to have a couple live in here, you could have a choice between 2 bedrooms with 2 double beds. And also you have two bedrooms with 2 single beds so that your Sims can actually have a roommate with them, which I think is a cool experience to have in university. And then you of course have the kitchen, although I didn't place a stove because of course it's actually something that you cannot place technically in the university housing in The Sims 4. Although I'm actually using a mod that allows me to place a stove in university housing, but because I didn't want for this build to be registered as using any CC or mods, and I wanted for you guys to be able to find this build pretty easily on the gallery, I didn't place any, but I will leave a link in the description for you to download this mod if you are interested in using it. I think it's a mod that's from Little Miss Sam, and it's really useful, it's really fun, and I also played and tested this build. I also played and tested it with this stove, although I'm not going to share the screenshots of this one, but it works really fine, there's no problem. You just have to remove one counter. It's just in the middle of the kitchen, you will see that pretty soon, just in front of the sink, which is actually where I was thinking placing the stove at first. But yeah, this is the counter that I left empty so that you can just delete it and place the stove if you want to. And if you don't know how to do that, you just need to turn on the enable free build cheat and there you're good to go. You can actually build and place anything on this slot as if it was a normal lot. But yeah, as I said, I played and tested it. Everything was working fine, no problem with that, except for the mailbox, which I've moved of course, and the version that you will find on the gallery will not have any glitches, any problems or anything. You might have some spoiled food here and there because, as I said, I needed to play and test this build, but yeah, I just had to move the mailbox for the Sims to use it properly, but that was the only thing that was kind of glitchy. Other than that, everything works fine. So here is actually when I'm starting to use the wood fences that I found in debug, although I think this is the only item that I've used from the debug menu. All the rest is just from the game. As for the activities that your Sims can do here, I placed of course a ping pong table, I placed a basketball hoop, I also placed a bar, a barbecue area, which will be in the garden over here. I also placed a soccer ball and the bucket that allows your Sims to play water balloon fights. Also inside, just next to the kitchen, I've placed a foosball table because I thought that the Sims, maybe when it's a rainy day, maybe they wanted to play together and kind of challenge each other at a foosball game, which is actually something that I liked playing this game when I was in high school. There was a foosball table in kind of the lounge area, the lounge room for the students, to have fun together when there's no class, and we had a foosball table, and I wasn't really good, but I wasn't too bad either, and it was really fun to play that game. And then also when it comes to the bathrooms, there's only 2 toilets and 2 showers in this build. At first I thought that maybe this would be not enough for the Sims, or actually for 6 Sims to live in this build, but it's actually good enough, no. I didn't see any Sims pee themselves or become really stinky, except if they were actually using the basketball hoop or doing some exercise of course, but there were no problems with the toilets and the showers. And I've also placed some laundry items because that's something that I've never experienced in university in The Sims, and I was actually thinking using this build for my Sims 4 Legacy that follows the Baker family for when Madison will be going to university, which I think is going to be pretty soon. Right now she's still a child, but in the next part that we'll be playing with this family, she will be aging up into a teenager. And I think towards the end of summer, maybe early fall, I will have her age up into a young adult and go to university. And since I want for her to become a scientist, she will have to go into the physics degree, and I'd like for her to go into the distinguished physics degree, which is in the Foxbury Institute. Hopefully she'll be able to enter that degree. And I'd like for her to come here eventually. Maybe not at first. Maybe at first I will have her go into my tidal tower renovation that I did when Discover University came out. And, you know, spend maybe a couple of semesters there. And then I will have her maybe come here and experience the more relaxed way of living in university. Not in the midst of everything, just away a little bit from, you know, she will still, of course, be living on campus, but a little bit away from all the classes and, you know, the middle of the campus, basically. Anyway, here I'm kind of finishing the living area downstairs. There's another one upstairs which is more relaxed and calm, because downstairs you will actually find the stereo, of course the football table and the kitchen, and I think this is where people will be able to chat, to spend some time together, and as I said, challenge each other at football games. And then upstairs you have a TV, and I've actually used the old TV that came with Eco Lifestyle. I really like that TV, and I thought maybe a student had repaired it, and maybe there weren't any TV before until that student repaired a TV and placed it upstairs. But yeah, you also have a lounge, or actually a sofa, and a couple armchairs for the Sims maybe to read, to study, to just hang out together in a more calm environment. And of course you have this kind of deck area upstairs, and I've placed a couple lounge chairs as well as a game table. I think this was the one that came with Outdoor Retreat. I really like the plasticky texture of that table, but you will see that towards the end. As for the color theme actually that I decided to follow as well for this build, I decided to go for, of course, a lot of reds, yellows, blues and whites, which are the main colors of the Foxbury Institute. But here I'm starting to work on the bathrooms downstairs, so you will have 2 toilets downstairs and 2 showers upstairs. And I decided also to place some laundry items, as I said, and you can find those downstairs. This way there's no problems with privacy, because I actually used the toilet stalls. I wasn't sure how to lay out this room at first. I was actually thinking maybe just doing toilets, showers downstairs, and then doing the same thing upstairs, but then I decided to just go ahead and place the stools, the toilet stools downstairs, and then the showers upstairs, although there's no laundry items upstairs. But yeah, I haven't really played around with the laundry still in university. I don't know how annoying that can become. But if you use, of course, the enable free build cheat in game, you can actually just delete those items and not have to deal with laundry at all. But here I'm starting to decorate the entry area, and I wasn't really sure how to decorate this room because I didn't want for it to be completely empty, but I didn't want for it as well to be too decorated, because this is a university housing, and even though it's supposed to be a house kind of, your Sims just come here, spend a couple terms here, and then move on. So it's just a lot of people that come and go, and you know, they don't really stay here very long, so there's no real decorations, you know, no real personalization of this place basically. Although I was thinking that the chair that I placed there was a chair that a student maybe had built one day during a class and decided to leave it here as a souvenir kind of. But yeah, also for the bedrooms, I tried to decorate them a little bit more. I didn't place as well any computers anywhere in this build, which was actually something that I've regretted after, but maybe this can be kind of a challenge. That's how I saw it actually, kind of a challenge, you know, not to have any computers. This way you have to go to the commons to use a computer or buy one yourself and kind of, you know, use the loan money maybe to buy the computer and make your Sims' lives even more difficult, if that makes sense. But here I'm starting to decorate the upstairs lounge area, I want to say, like the living area upstairs, but I will eventually come back to this place and decorate it a little bit more because I wasn't really sure how to decorate this place first. Also, this is something that you will see a lot in this build. I went all over the place. Like, I was actually working on the living area upstairs, and here I am outside working on the kind of entrance outside area with the bench and the flowers, and I think afterwards I'm going to start working on the garden. I'm not even sure. No, I'm actually going to work on the mailbox area and how to decorate this place. I just went all over the place with this build, which is something that I usually do, and I kind of hated myself as I was editing the footage down. But I actually really enjoyed building this place because I I actually kind of forgot that I was recording myself. And actually when I was done building this place and I started play and test this place, this university housing, I kept on recording for 20 minutes and I realized that, well, 20 minutes after I was done building this house. And that's when I realized that I actually enjoyed myself so much that I just completely forgot that I was recording. I was just, enjoying my time. And so here is the upstairs bathroom. It's really small. It's only 2 tiles wide and I think 5 tiles long. And you only have 2 showers, 2 sinks, and there's this big window in the middle. But, it's enough actually. And I'm really happy to know that The Sims do not have any problems with the showers being, not having too many showers and not having too many toilets. I'm really happy that these didn't cause any issue. And here I'm finally continuing to decorate the living area upstairs, and I decided to use actually some other debug items. I used those chairs that you can only build through the fabrication skill, I think, in Eco Lifestyle. I never used these armchairs before because I don't like using debug items usually that you can actually unlock through gameplay. But I thought, you know what, let's just go ahead and use those because they go actually really well with that sofa and also with the wood tones that I chose for this room. And I was also thinking that the coffee table that I used was a coffee table that another student had built up. This is actually something that I'm really happy to have, all of those rundown items that have been kind of renovated and built up by Sims. And you can actually create a pretty cool aspect and a pretty cool feel in a room, like using those pallets. No, it's not really pallets, those wooden pallets. Wooden things. I don't know how they're called, but this is a coffee table that came with Discover University. I'll try to show a picture of what I'm talking about, but I've always wanted to use these ones in kind of a rundown build. I still have yet to find inspiration or an idea on how to use those, and use also some items that we have with Eco Lifestyle to have a really rundown house that maybe someone is kind of building up and renovating, and I'm just building the house in the middle of them renovating this place, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I'm really happy to have so many of those rundown items, as well with the bookshelf that uses those stones thingy to have those legs for the bookshelf, and the pipes that kind of hold the shelves together. I really like that bookshelf as well. But here I'm focusing a bit more on the outside area, and as you can see, I've placed those red and yellow picnic table, which I think came with the toddler stuff pack. And these tables were just perfect. When I saw them, I was like, this is just made for this build and for Discover University. And I struggled a little bit with this ping pong table. I wasn't sure where to put it at first. But eventually I placed it where it is right now, although I'm going to move it a little bit on the side to be able to place a tree in the middle of the lot, just to kind of hide everything in the shadows of the tree and not have this place be really lit up, because the lighting in this Foxbury Institute neighborhood is really bright. I had actually to have the build in the evening light because the afternoon light was so bright that it actually hurt my eyes. And of course, I placed a keg stand here for the Sims to drink if they want to throw some parties. And also, as you can see, I've placed a fire pit, which actually came with Island Living. And this was actually highly inspired by the Sims 3 University Life expansion pack, because I think the fire pit came with University Life in the Sims 3. And I wanted to have kind of this aspect and this little hint to The Sims 3 in this build with a fire pit. But I think I've seen a lot of people when they were building university housing or university builds, basically, they were using those fire pits because, we've been used to having those in The Sims 3, so why not have those as well in The Sims 4? And it's actually really fun when you're throwing a party because, as I said, as I was playing and testing this build, I had my Sims throw a party just to, as well, once again, play and test the entire thing. It's actually really fun to have this fire pit and change the colors of the lights or the flames and have your Sims dance around. But yeah, here I'm starting to move on to the first bedroom that I'm going to furnish, which is going to be a bedroom with a double bed. And I was thinking that it was maybe a bedroom for a preppy girl who wanted to be very serious, but was also kind of a party sim, a party animal. So you will have, of course, the dresser. These dressers are very useful. They came with Tiny Living and they're really, really fun to build with, especially in university and those very small rooms, because all of the bedrooms in this build are 4x4 tiles, so they're quite small, especially if you're using 2 beds or a double bed. But I managed to place in both the double bedrooms the desk area and the dresser as well, and you also have I think a sitting area in this room, maybe not in the one upstairs, but I think upstairs you have a mirror, a standing mirror. And so yeah, I've placed a double bedroom downstairs and another one upstairs, and a bedroom with 2 single beds downstairs and another one upstairs, and each bedroom has their own color theme as well. This one is more blue, yellowish, orangey tone. The one next door, it's kind of a mix of a bunch of colors. I went with a dark purpley blue color and a pink tone, and upstairs I went with for the double bedroom I went for a red and blue tone, and for the other bedroom I went for a greeny, yellowy, purpley tone. The double, the bedrooms with the 2 single beds, I didn't really know what color theme to go with, but these bedrooms were so small to furnish that I feel like they don't really have a whole lot of personality. But yet again, it's a university housing build, so your Sims just come in with a bunch of their own decorative items, and this gives you freedom to be able to decorate those bedrooms as you wish. And this is actually the bookshelf that I thought using in this bedroom, the one that I was talking before, with the pipes that hold the shelves together. But instead, I decided to go with this table that came with Eco Lifestyle and place those little bookshelves that came with, or actually those book stands that came with Tiny Living. Because, as I said, this is for a preppy sim, I think, and they didn't want to have this rundown item. They wanted to have something that looked great. And I went also to use these fairy lights that came with Parenthood. At first, I thought using the one that came with the holiday stuff pack. But I don't like how flat that item looks, those fairy light looks, and I don't even know if they reflect any kind of light or anything. So instead I went with the Parenthood's one because they look a little bit better. And so here I'm moving on to the bedrooms just next door to the double bedroom downstairs. And like I said, I really struggled to give any kind of personalities to these bedrooms, but I tried my best. But also I tried to decorate, as I said, these rooms as much as possible. And I used the simple shelves that came with the base game, and I put some decorations on those. And I think I will have to use that trick a little bit more often, because I actually had a lot of fun to use those, using those shelves and try to add a bit more personality to the rooms. You will see that pretty soon. I will place those shelves just above this pink bed. And also I use those wallpaper that came with Moschino. I really like that wallpaper. This is actually the wallpaper that I used in Madison's room in my Sims 4 LP, because Madison's favorite color is pink and purple, and usually I don't use those colors because I really don't like the pink color, but with Madison, she's an alien, she has a bluish skin tone, and I felt like the purpley, pastel-y pink tone looks really nice on her skin tone, so that's how that color came to be her favorite one. So maybe she's going to sleep in this room this way. She will have the exact same wallpaper that she had in her childhood's bedroom. But here I'm trying to decorate as much as I can. I've used a little bit of yellow as well because this is a color that you can see on that wallpaper and it looks cool. And so these are the shelves that I was talking about. And upstairs, in the other double bed's bedroom, the blue and red one, I actually used those shelves just above the bed and it looks so cool. I remember actually my grandparents had a bedroom, or actually a bed set, that you can see on 80s bed, I think. I don't know how to describe it, but you had an entire wall of cupboards and table as well that just went together. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like, the skeleton of the bed in a way. And you had those shelves just above the bed, and I remember that when I was sleeping in this bed, I kept hitting my head every time I was waking up in the middle of the night or even in the morning. I kept hitting my head on those shelves and I hated it. And as I was furnishing this double bedroom upstairs, I just kept thinking about this and that maybe the Sim who was going to sleep in this bedroom was going to hate those shelves, but it actually looks really cool. Also, in this bedroom upstairs, I decided to place a plant in the corner there because I had no idea what to place otherwise. And I tried to use some posters on the walls just to, once again, try to give some personality. I also used those poster movies, especially in that room upstairs that I'm currently working on, because I was thinking that maybe one of the Sims that was sleeping in this room was a huge movie fan and wanted to show that and have those posters with them. Maybe they were very expensive posters and they wanted to keep them with them. And here I used that shelf trick a little bit more. I think a lot of builders and simmers use that shelf anyway, but that's something that I don't really use that often in my own builds, so yeah, I'll try to use that a little bit more. And here I'm finally moving on to the red and blue room, and at first I thought using the bed that came with Eco Lifestyle, but it looked a bit too personalized for me, and as I said, you know, it's a university housing, so a lot of Sims are coming and going from this house, and I wanted for the beds to look as standard and simple as possible. But I really like this bedroom. The colors are very intense compared to the other bedrooms, but I like how different it is, and it seems really warm and cozy as well. So here in this room, as you can see, it's blue, red, and some yellow. So you have this school spirit of the Foxbury Institute, and here I'm trying to give some personality to this build to this room. I was actually thinking that this room was rented by a student that was studying history, and that's why I placed that map just above the desk. And the way the desk, you know, where the desk is placed, I think it looks so cool because it's just next to the window and you have this beautiful view of the waters and the little river that's going past Foxbury. And yeah, this is the shelves that I was talking about. I really like those, actually. I think this room actually has to be my favorite. And this was actually the bedroom that the sim that I used to play and test this build rented or actually used, because it's so cozy. It's so, you know, it's away from the rest of the other bedrooms. I don't know, I think it has to be the calmest room of all in this build. But then I will be moving on to the deck area outside. I did struggle a little bit to decorate this deck area because it's only 3 tiles wide and the lounge chairs are actually quite big, and I really wanted to have those upstairs just for the students to maybe to relax. I don't think these were allowed at first, but maybe some students just snuck them in to be able to relax and enjoy the sun when it's summer or late spring or early autumn, so that, you know, they could enjoy the rare sun actually in Brightchester. And there's of course this sofa here for the Sims maybe to read when it's a beautiful day. And so here is the card or game table that I've placed as well outside. At first I thought maybe placing it inside the build, but there were just no room left anymore, so it has to be outside. There are actually no skill building items other than the basketball hoops and the ping pong table, although I don't think the ping pong table works on any skills. But there is no artistic kind of items for your Sims to work on, like there's no easels or anything. But since the Foxbury Institute kind of focuses more on science anyway, and programming, robotics and all, I don't think that's necessary to have those in there. But yet again, if you wanted to place any easel in this build, you can easily. But here I'm just going back and changing the color theme that I went with, because it's Foxbury, you need to have some yellow and some red. And I will also place a dumpster back... oops, sorry, I just hit my mic. Just back there so that the Sims can maybe dumpster dive just like they could in The Sims 3 University Life. But here we are going into the screenshots, so I hope you enjoyed this build. Let me know in the comments what you think, and you will find, of course, in the description all of the information to download this build on the gallery. But I'm going to leave you here, so thank you very much for watching this video, and I will talk to you in the next one.